welcome back. Dave's Guitar 777, Pastor Dave here. I shut the camera off a while back, turned it back on, up at my normal turnaround point unless I feel like going further, which in today's weather I will not do. The wind has picked up quite a bit up here, so the wind chill factor is probably right around freezing. You can see here ice water melting from ice melting from the sun, and then as you'll see once I get going here, just the first mile and a half maybe, you'll see snow all over the place, and then all of a sudden it'll be gone. So this is 25 miles up the road, on the road we live on, but you can see the difference. You look ahead, you can see all the snow on the side of the mountain there, all the snow on the side of the road. What difference 25 miles makes, plus a couple thousand feet in elevation. That makes probably the bigger difference. But you see all the snow there, probably sun shining in your eyeballs right now, but we'll get around the corner here and there's all the snow there. Nothing like back in Wisconsin yet, but still quite a bit to where you got to really watch it because it runs across this road, and with this shade it could be black ice or whatever. So there's one area until I get past the snow here, and even though it's my favorite place to ride, this time of the year it's not the favorite because I can't go as fast. See all the water running across the road, how moist, you can see the dampness in the road by the color, all the snow on the side of the hill here, and you can see across the street where the sun shines, there's no snow at all, but on this side where it's pretty much in shade all the time, snow there all the time. Get a little further here, sun comes up out here. Guess what? No more snow. That's New Mexico. You want snow? Drive 25 miles. Get all you want. Later in the season, they got 3-4 feet staying on the ground up here. A few miles back down the road, and no more snow. That's one of the things I really like about this state, especially for riding, now that I've been riding again for the last 2.5 years, after taking a 20-year hiatus of not riding. There, this time of the year, the bike is already either in the garage or shed or whatever we happen to be living that we could keep it. One I had to keep in my grandpa's garage, another one I kept in a friend's barn. It was partially heated. We actually used that section for church services. But whatever bike I had at those times, it always stayed. Once it was parked, it stayed for the winter, because we very rarely would get a day that you could ride, and if it was warm enough to ride, there's usually still enough snow or ice on the roads and spots that you couldn't ride even if you wanted to. So it was just pack it up, put it away, and wait until spring. But not here. Here I kind of packed it up because I thought my surgery was coming, but then it didn't. It's not going to be here till February 21st, which gives me 2 months more of possible riding, depending on what kind of winter we have this year. Last couple weeks have been absolutely freezing for this time of the year. Down in the low teens at night. 30s, 40s during the day. This week, low 30s at night and mid 50s during the day. So this is one of them weeks where I'm getting out and ride almost every day, except I got things to do a couple of days this week, but doctor appointments and stuff where I won't be able to ride. But for the most part, I think tomorrow will be about the only day I don't ride, because I got a couple of doctor appointments. My wife will be going along, and she's not going to want to ride in the cool weather at all, that's for sure. So I'll be taking the cage. But other than that, Thursday she's got a prayer meeting that she'll be going down to Albuquerque. It's about 40 miles from where we live, and it's supposed to be warm again, so I'll probably be riding again, but then it's supposed to start cooling off Friday, so Friday, Saturday might be iffy, not sure yet. But rather be that than sitting back in Wisconsin freezing. Seen someone on the internet, a couple of people I know up in Minnesota, showed their highs and lows for the day. -7 for a low and 9 degrees for a high. And I just said, praise the Lord, I'm not there. That's not my kind of weather at all. I grew up in it. I just don't like it. And the problems I have with my fingers and toes and cold. These brighter colors on our bicycle. The sun's shining. I didn't see it till right at the end there. Keep our eyes open when the sun's shining. You know, that's the only bad thing about this time of the year is the sun goes down sooner. So the warm time of the day, where it's the best time to ride up here, it's also the hardest time with the sun. Anyway, back to the cold. Glad I'm not there. The only thing I did like was my sister and my brother-in-law all lived in the middle of Wisconsin, in Wausau, and they all had snowmobiles. So we just bundle up real good and go snowmobiling up there. So that was our winter thing. And then we lived on the lake. I didn't own a snowmobile, but before my brother moved up to Wausau, he still had a snowmobile before then, so he would come up to our house on the lake. We had plenty of ice, plenty thick for snowmobiling, so we'd go snowmobiling right out our front door and then up to the lake. So that was kind of fun. And then my sister lives in an area where you can just go right out the front door too and just start going snowmobiling all around. A lot of farmland and stuff in the area, although unfortunately it's starting to build up pretty fast out there too. When they moved there, it was beautiful. The only house in the whole area besides their brother-in-law's parents' home were down at the end of the road, a couple miles away, but all bare land or trees, whatever in between. Made for great snowmobiling or four-wheeling in the summer, dirt bike riding, whatever. It was great. Hunting, just didn't have to drive nowhere, just walked outside, went hunting, and walked back in to the house when we were done. Walking through the woods, so there were a lot of good points to it, but because of my, like I said, because of my hands and feet and stuff with this cold, problems that I got now, I just can't handle it anymore. My fingers get numb, my toes get numb. Found it out the hard way one year. My big toe started turning black, and they caught it on time, got me the right medication for the Raynaud's, and I've been good since, as long as I can keep them warm and keep taking the medication for that. Just one little tiny pill a day, keeps the doctor away. But yeah, it was pretty bad there for a while. I thought I was gonna lose my big toe. So that's the main reason why I don't like it back there anymore. Summer's beautiful, lakes, fishing, skiing, water skiing, all that good stuff. But humidity I didn't like. But there were a lot of times where it was just perfect temperature for riding, for all that stuff. And living on the lake, even if it got humid, whatever, it didn't matter. Go out on the boat, go swimming, jump in the lake. So if anyone ever said, go jump in a lake, well, we did. We took it literally, and we did. And it was fun. So, but back to here, we can have winters like this. Before we moved down here from the Navajo Reservation, the last 2 winters were just terrible. We had snow all winter long. From the first snowfall until spring, we had snow on the ground, and up to a couple feet at a time sometimes. So it got very Wisconsin-like for those couple of years before we moved down here. And the difference there was it's only 70, by road, 75, 80 miles away. By the shortcut, about 100 miles by the better roads. So it's not all that far, but it's about 2,000 feet higher in elevation, like where I was riding there. So when they did get snow, they'd get more, but because it's higher elevation, when the sun was out, it would melt real fast. So usually we get 2-3 inches, and then the sun would just melt it away, usually by noon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and good to go. I remember our first year was really something else. I was right after Christmas, I was outside working with a t-shirt on because it was so nice out. It's really nice. Since we've been here, we haven't had any snow stick where we live any more than a week. That was the longest we had, it was 1 week. Usually it's the 1-day thing and it's melted away. But the last couple of winters have been getting a little colder, and that I don't really like. But so far this year, like I said, it got really cold, but now it's warming up, so I'm hoping and praying that it stays warm, at least until February 21st. When I have my surgery, it can snow all at once, it can get cold all at once. Well, not too cold because I don't want to have to spend the money on propane, but keep the house warm. But winter can get its system cleared out for a month or so, and hopefully I'll be back on my feet and riding again by the time it's warm enough to ride. Here can be March easily, but I may not be ready then, but who knows. April for sure. I was back in Wisconsin, I remember getting a foot of snow in May, beginning of May. It's crazy. Of course it wouldn't last as long anymore because it started warming up, but boy, it could get pretty crazy weather there. Remember one snow when we lived on the lake, we got 18 inches in one snowfall, plus we already had snow on the ground for a while, and we had a picnic table, and most people know how tall those are, a couple feet, 3 feet, whatever, and you could look in the backyard and not find it. The snow was that deep. There was like a little bump, and you could look and wonder if that either a drift or is that the picnic table. And it was the picnic table. We found it, but well, we had to find it because my brother brought his snowmobile and we didn't want to run into that one. snowmobile. But some crazy snows. Starting to get a few more clouds. 2 o'clock almost. Utility working again. Although it doesn't look like nobody's working. Good thing here about the elevation, when the sun is out, even though it's cool, it feels warm. When I stop, I'll have to take my jacket and everything off right away so I don't start sweating. But as soon as you get that wind chill going from riding, and also it's a bit breezy today, it gets feeling cold pretty quick. But as soon as you stop, if the sun's out, it's nice and warm. You need a jacket, usually if it's about 50, 55. As soon as you get on the bike, you need a few layers. Especially when you come up here and get 10, 15 degrees cooler, which it was. It's down to, like I said, probably around 32, 33 up on top of the hill there. And according to my house, it said 43, something like that when I left. My wife just got back in the car, she said that, and it said 51. That's usually pretty accurate. So it's probably closer to that when I left. The bike said 50, but that was in the heated shed, so. And once this thermometer gets out in the sun, who knows? It's only accurate in the shade. Anyway, I think maybe I'll call this one, I got one other video that I called Thoughts While Riding. I'll probably do the same on this one. Maybe I'll call it Thoughts of Winter While Riding. That'll get a few guys that don't like that W word, that live up north. They gotta put the bikes away for the winter. I'm not trying to rub it in because I've been there. Where you can come to get away from it. And I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it a bunch of times on different videos. I'd still like to have a get together of either on ShadowNet or Shadow Riders in America on Facebook. Those groups or both. Come on out. We got plenty of room for tents, for camping, and plenty of room in the church for sleeping and stuff. Plenty of room for parking bikes. We could have quite a few people and have some really good day trips up and down these roads around this area. And anyone who wants to go further, go out to Arizona. There's beautiful roads out there. Out there yet on my bike, in the car I have, and there's some nice roads I'd like to take my bike on. Once my knee gets healed up, I plan to get a trip out there. Visit a few forum members. couch. I would move. Always be around talking to everybody, and the time I did, someone came to talk to me. And I got born again, saved, became a pastor, and now all I do is talk. Talk a lot, write a lot. Amazing how we can change. High school, having to get up for a book report or any type of oral report, I'd be standing there with knees knocking and having a really hard time. First couple times preaching was the same way, but got used to it pretty quick. Now it's totally different. And that's the problem with the shoulders and the mirrors. I didn't see the current. There's just like do something about that. Some wider mounts or something. Summer is perfect, but this time of year my heavy jacket's in the way. I'm usually going faster than the one passing people, but when I get to talking, then I go slower so I can pay attention to the road too. Sheriff's still up there. This guy is probably going to get a ticket because unless he decides to slow down. That school zone, they're pretty strict when they're out there. Not out there very often, but when they are, they're strict about it. This is a really fun one too. Speed traps. School zone. I try to plan my rides around bus time so I don't ever get stuck behind them. So far, this year I haven't really. Which is good. Someday I'll do a video on things I don't like about the way people drive. Because you can get people like this. He's probably going to turn up here, but no blinker. But speed limit's 50.